Scorpios, my darlings, this is your yearly tarot forecast. We will be diving into the months of December to January 2026 to give you a full, in-depth tarot forecast about you and your life as a Scorpio zodiac. Cross watchers are allowed, and every single month is time-stamped in the description, so you can come back many a time and check in on the timestamp just to see what the hell has been going down for you in 2026. And this is fascinating and incredibly gorgeous because for Scorpio, it is the year of satisfaction. It's a gorgeous energy because it talks about things that have not satisfied you in the past, a lack of fulfillment. There's insecurities coming up about greed and gluttony, having too much, not sharing your wealth, not sharing your money, having too much money, not having enough money, who to give to, who not to give to. A really fascinating energy. I will also say that this is the first zodiac so far that's come out with multiple energies that are further astrology. So we've got zodiacs in the deck, planets in the deck, we've got sun, moon, a lot of different energies, but further astrology, we're talking about sextile, we're talking about midheaven, and we're talking about trine, and they're showing up in your spread across the months in really synchronistic ways, letting me know that you are really going on a higher level journey. It makes me feel like you also work with your ancestors, passed on loved one's spirit. And it really talks to me a lot about money. I see a lot of, I have a strong, stable, abundant life, but do I have enough to offer? Do I have enough to offer the world? Do I have enough of me to go around? There's a lot of questions about you and how you become the very best version of you. So we're going to look at that through the months and really dive in here. But this is indeed the year that you are truly satisfied with what you're giving off to the universe. And that is where you really do reap reward, okay? Because the card coming out for you to sum up the year is the Nine of Cups. Gorgeous. This Nine of Cups isn't the normal traditional tarot. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. It's the after tarot. And it talks about a rich man having all of these blessings, a massive banquet, all of this food, and it's about, well, don't overindulge too much, don't overindulge. But this is for a general collective of Scorpio, so I have to say some of you guys are worried about overindulging, being overly luxurious and overly rich, while others of you are questioning what is enough. Do I have enough? Will I ever have enough? Will I ever be satisfied? And I feel like there's this theme that's rolled on from 2024 to 2025, and we're breaking that energy in 2026 where you are enough and you are worthy. And you know when the rich want to play down their rich, can't be too rich, it's not a good look. But others are like, I can't even show up and be the rich person that I'm meant to be because I don't feel like I have enough. Someone could be rich and still feel like they don't have enough. And other people who are deeply rich in spirit, in heart, in wisdom, in expertise, in knowledge, in intelligence, they think they're not enough, and they think, oh, I've got this beautiful business plan, I've got this amazing dream, I've got this amazing idea, but it's too small to present. I can't give it to the world. I can't give it to the world. So we're going to deep dive with that. Let's begin. Okay, we dive into January with the further astrology sextile, which is a major aspect, and it coming out with the Page of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords really talks to me about someone fighting their money demons face on. Because I'm looking at someone with the Ace of Pentacles, abundant, rich, well off. Really, I want to scream congruency. Congruent. Someone is really congruent at this time. That lets me know you're aligned, you're balanced, there's benefit in what you're doing, there's harmony around you. But you feel like with this Page of Wands that it's just a young passion, it's just a young coin, it's just a young bit of wealth. You're not overjoyed about your amazingness. Can I say that? You're not overjoyed about your abundance. Your abundance is blasé. Whatever. I've got it. I'm royal. It's like a king to the throne, a prince, and he's like, yeah, whatever. Like, yeah, oh, my father's the king, yeah, I'm gonna take the seat as the king eventually, yeah, whatever. Like, well, who cares? Like, I don't care. I don't even care for this life. I don't care for these royals. I wake up in the morning and are ready. Your Royal Highness, are you ready for the day ahead? We have the schedule that must be completed. And you're like, yeah, I guess so. It's like someone in a position of power that doesn't desire that power, doesn't desire that position. It's not fulfilling. Like, in my head, I just get visions of like Prince Harry, who doesn't give a flying fuck about the royal aspects of life. But it's a major part of who you are and who you're destined to be. And although Harry's not destined to be the king, he still had an incredibly important role. And that turned out into disaster, you know? So it's the way that it's the tale of two halves. Because what I'm being guided to speak on is, look how William grew up, who is destined to be king. And look how Harry grew up, who knew he was never going to make the throne. Do you see the self-fulfilling prophecy and what is imprinted on the mind frame and how it changes a person? Look at the life that Harry went down, the route he took in his life, the destiny that's tethered to him, the media presence around him versus William, yeah? Weird example to use to start the reading, but it's about finding satisfaction with who you are, regardless of how you've been brought into the world or what people do or don't believe is your destiny. Because if Harry was born first, he would have been destined to be king and his fate would be different. Do you get what I mean? Everything happens for a reason. That's the point. Imagine William was never destined to be king and he was the second born. Would they have lived different lives? Would have William went on to be in Vegas turning up with a Nazi sign? Who knows? Who knows? Do you get what I mean? But that is the life we live. And you need to be willing to really start again. I wanted to say, wipe the slate clean with whatever position you've been in, whatever label you've been given, whatever honorary degree or scholarship or accountant you've been given, and start again. If you're not happy with your accountant, get a new one. Yeah? If you're not happy with the numbers on the books, then change it. Like, not fraudulently, of course. God, that didn't sound good when I said that. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, make a plan. Strategize. Someone is really coming to terms with what it means to be satisfied. And somebody really doesn't want to live a gluttonous lifestyle financially. And they feel more comfortable being humble. It's the age-old story, like I said, about rich people are not even allowed to be rich publicly. You're the richest person in the world, or you're top 10 on Forbes, but you got to just keep it humble because the rest of the world is going to attack you and there's going to be protests and madness going on because you're too rich. Do you get what I mean? And it's worse when you are seen as someone who don't deserve those riches and you didn't earn those riches outright, and that's a problem. It's different for those who, slightly different, for those who made that money themselves, and we can see their financial journey and their ascension to become wealthy. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful testimony. But certain people, if they're just destined to be rich and they've just been given loads of money through inheritance or in their lineage, and they're like, loads of people hate the royals, hate the monarchy because they're just rich for rich sake. Do you get what I mean? But systemization is real. Infrastructure evolution is real. Sociological evolution is real more than anything else. And that's the inherited trait. So is slavery. We can't wipe out slavery. We can't wipe out the monarch, but we can understand how they were built and constructed and fate, the universe, the divine will make sure that in time everything will balance out with ledger and divine order. We can't control it. We don't need to beat or bash or hate on anyone for the positions they're in life. God will toe the line. Yeah, let karma do its damn thing. And Harry took it upon himself. It's a great example to use Harry, because he took it upon himself to balance out the ledger like his mother did. You know, very much like his mother. I'm always, who am I? Should I be a royal correspondent? Should I be a royal spokesperson? Because I'm turning into one of those people. You know when the royals have one of those events at Buckingham Palace and one of the parades, and they have all the cast that just speak there talking about the royals? That's how I feel. I feel like I'm one of those royal spokespeople. Let's speak to our royal correspondent, the hermatologist. Hermatologist, what do you think about this right now? Well, Meghan and Harry, actually, quite lately, they've been presenting with this vibration of change. Like, this is who I'm becoming, guys. Bear with me. I'm British, and I'm seeing potentially aspects of my future. Who am I? Who am I? Right? But who are you? Who are you? That is the question here in January. Who are you, and what does your life represent? What is satisfaction to you? What is money to you? And what is less and more? And what is enough? What is enough for you? Scorpio, let me know in the comments. Let's move on to February. Okay, we move into February, and I see you're being guided by what appears to be a guardian angel, someone you love very much. You could be leaving a home, a mother, a colleague, a business partner, someone behind, and moving in a new direction, but you look a little bit sad. You look a little bit downcast. You look a little bit burdened. We're talking about work ethics, public status, achievements, life goals, career and success. We're talking about your public appearance. Again, very public eye energy, ambition, life goals, your career, your success. A lot of burdens coming up. This is the mid-heaven card, right? I want to say mid-haven, but I'm sure that's not the right way to say it, because it does say mid-heaven, and I am indeed British. So the 10th house is coming out with that as well. And it really is just saying your character is everything. And it's coming out with a star, so it's a healing energy, but it's coming out also with the Page of Wands in a lower vibration and the 8 of Wands. And it's like, I've got to deal with this, and it's not going well. I think there could be something about your reputation being challenged, and because you haven't really clarified what does or doesn't satisfy you and grounded yourself. I always talk about being the pillar in the environment, being the pillar in the room, being the pillar in your own reality. And when I talk about pillars, I'm talking about columns, I'm talking about Greek era, I'm talking about what it means to build something, those gods from those days, Zeus, Hercules, Athena, Hermes, like all of these kind of characters, right? They're all cemented in a statue, in marble, in rock, even in wood. I get the oak man energy. We all, like in my head now, I'm getting the vision of when lovers put their initials in a tree and do the love heart in the tree. You have to carve out your destiny. You have to carve out your legacy. You have to create your own scripture, your own doctrine, your own Bible, your own word. Where is your truth? Where is your story? Where is your assembly line? Interesting terminology, because now I get all of these things being churned out on an Amazon conveyor belt, just going and going, and it's like actually we're building a robot and all these different pieces are getting put together. It's a factory, it's a warehouse, and every piece of the robot needs to be locked in and connected. This could be hardware, software cells, this could be new world technology, GPUs, CPUs. This is big tech energy, and it's building these different elements of the machine. Now I'm getting Tesla as well, where Tesla's a conveyor belt on a small scale is Amazon products and Amazon items being boxed and run along the conveyor belt and slid off into the different delivery bays. On a bigger scale, it's the pieces of fucking Tesla car or the Cybertruck coming together. That door, the wheel one, wheel two, the bonnet, the front, the hood, the windscreen, That's a conveyor belt in itself, in the big ass factories where you build a car. It's talking about that, but it's talking about that in relation to legacy, about craft, about satisfaction. How satisfying is your life? And how are you making sure all of the elements in your life come together seamlessly and autonomously? If there is upset and low vibration in your energy, it's because you are not operating autonomously. You are not at your highest vibration because you still have not chosen what success and satisfaction looks like for you. Let's move on to March. As we move into March, we're looking at another green chakra. So you came in with a green chakra card with the Page of Wands, a green chakra card with the Star, and now a green chakra card with the Page of Cups. Should have told you that straight away, but it's interesting we've saved it because it lets me know January, February and March, you've been healing. You've still been going through healing. You haven't been able to make a decision because you've been healing. This is coming out with Aquarius moon energy. A lot of things not spoken about. The rebel activist spirit in you, suppressed, unspoken, unsung hero energy coming out with that. Then we've got the King of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. You are this king, this powerful player. But with the Page of Cups, there's apologies. You're seeking forgiveness from others, or you want to apologize to others. This is the time now. Finally, you have had a lot of time to really, really think about who you are, what you're doing and where you're going, and who satisfies you, who doesn't satisfy you, what your conveyor belt of automation looks like. And now it's about speaking that into existence. There's not so much speaking energy here. So speaking to yourself about it. I don't feel like you're outwardly expressing this stuff as of yet. I'm intrigued to see how we follow on for the rest of the months. But I see you aware of who you've done wrong. So if you've got colleagues, employees, brothers, sisters, lovers, exes, carers, caretakers, people you take care of, people who you haven't been there for that you're meant to, it's an awareness of that. And there's this humble beginnings coming with you. No matter how old you are, no matter what you've been through, I'm about to really humble myself here and give thanks and grace to everyone else and apologize for my mistakes. And I need to start afresh. Tabula rasa energy. I need to wipe the slate clean and start anew. And in order to do that, I need to forgive myself and I need to forgive everyone else as well, because I've been blaming people and it's not their fault. It's been me. I've been going through stuff. Also, when you go through grief, because I get a little bit of grief, this could be financial grief more than anything else. So someone has lost a lot of money, and ever since you lost that big chunk of money, you just haven't been okay. It hasn't sat well with you and you've just kind of been pissed off. I also get the energy of this gluttony vibration that we got earlier in the months and in the intro about not wanting to be too gluttonous. I feel like if you lost a lot of money, I feel like you could have been really, really luxurious or bougie or really extra with your money in the past. And since then, you've just kind of really pulled back financially because you just don't feel as good. You're just like, I don't care for this, I don't care for that, I don't care for money. Like something inside of you switched off when you lost money. Yeah, and it made you cold and you had to heal. People grieve everything. You lost money, that's a grief cycle, right? And there's stages of grief. So whatever you lost, you had to grieve it. And that's been quite hard for you. It looks like you have patiently made the right decisions, but you need to, sounds silly, but you need to learn to be satisfied again. Yeah? What satisfies you now? And you are allowed to be who you are. In my head, this gives me Stormzy as well. Like, Stormzy ain't really been doing music, didn't do his tour, right? Like, don't make me go into the whole man's life. We've already just done Prince Harry. But I have to say it because it does upset me a little bit. Because he was with Maya Jama, broke up with her, a lot of pressure on his shoulders, mental health. I do mental health and emotional well-being, that's my thing. I understand the psychology of human, that's my thing. The burden on him is just ridiculous. So he cancels his tour, which I did have tickets for. He's never done a tour ever again where everyone got refunded. He cancelled the tour. Did we have new music after that? I don't think we did. We haven't had a new album. He's just gone forward, trying to live his life, trying to get his money back. He's building his own stuff offline, so stuff separate to music, to keep finances coming in. He's doing amazing things. He got with a Cambridge University to let black people have a better education, but he's getting slated by every other race for that, because they're saying he's pro-black and or he's racist and pro-black and blah blah blah. He's done all of that. He got an honorary scholarship from Cambridge as well. He got shat on for that, and then he's gone and taken on a lovely deal with McDonald's, because we all need to make money, and he's been offered a great deal with McDonald's. He got done for that as well. They're screaming at him in regards to Israel and Palestine, because he went to McDonald's. And it's all propaganda, because everyone's eating a fucking Big Mac at least once a queue, so shut up. But no, tear the man down. His mental health must be low and his mood and vibration must be shit, but do you know what I mean? No one gives a fuck, everyone just pipes up, and that's the issue sometimes. So for me, it's like, how does he find satisfaction in his life? He's lost the woman that he loved, he made a mistake, he cheated on her, he looks like a awful person in the press for that. He's helping black people who really struggle, who don't have a chance in life when it really comes to education, because we're incredibly limited, because slavery, all the way back in the days, black people weren't even allowed to read. So systematic oppression is real, and it does impact us in current day, because our limitations and our expertise still do stem from our lineage. And if our lineage go back to being really uneducated and not being able to read, which made us comparatively different to our white friends and others, then it's going to have a knock-on effect down the lineage, throughout evolution. And that's kind of sad that he can't even outrightly support black people who are at a disadvantage. We could look at the statistics of the amount of black people that have ever made it to Cambridge. He changed that. He does amazing. He got honoured because of that. He's a big black man who made it from rapping in the park. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's so sad. It makes me really sad sometimes when the community and culture really just tear down someone who's trying to do good things. He can't even make money and be happy. He could have lost that McDonald's deal. I think he's lost potential deals in the past because of it. People really lose shit and get dropped and cancelled, and it's so dangerous. There's people's livelihoods you're ruining. And I think that's what's going on with you, Scorpio. It's kind of the fear of losing it all and doing too much and not doing enough and having wealth but never knowing if you're going to lose it, because fucking hell, you could get cancelled overnight. It's not easy. So you've been going really slow, and actually January, February and March have been really, really healing windows of time for you. So let's dive into April and see what's going on now. Fabulous. Fabulous. As we arrive in April, third house is out. That's communication. That's intellect. That's education. That's journeying. That's sociability. Sociability is not a word I'll ever use, but it says it here. Logic, expression. That's curiosity. Yeah? That's your immediate environment with the Nine of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, and the Two of Wands. You're finally making some decisions. You're finally choosing the direction you want to go in April. It hasn't been easy, but you needed to heal. Yeah, I feel like a naggy woman moaning at you in January, February and March, but now I can ease up a little bit because actually I've been a bit mean to you guys. I'm sorry. You were healing and you had to go through it. Now you're coming out the other side. You're really independent, potentially on your own, really, really powerful. You've got a lot to give. You're spreading your money out nicely. Your portfolio, your decentralization, your network, your influences, who you're connecting with, who you're not, who you invest in, who you don't. How you split your bills, split the bill at the table, split your bills overall with the ones you love, how you feed your kids, how you fund your kids, how you invest in your kids, how you sort out your inheritance for your dependents and the ones that need you. Really important, and you're taking care of all of that finally. And you're in your emotions, which is beautiful because you're doing it from a place of heart. Your emotions were switched off and closed for a long time. You was in reptilian brain trying to be a mastermind, but you're coming out of that now. Your brain's getting really nice and clear because the emotions are coming in with all this watery energy to wash away the confusion. You're healed, basically. You're healed from a lot of bullshit, and now you can make some real big boy executive decisions come April, and that's perfect because that's in line with the accounting period. So you're going into April with a real clear plan for the next accounting cycle, and that's fantastic. Well done. It looks like things are going to be a lot smoother because your mind's right now. So well done. It could have been a sticky window of time for you to understand what your finances were going to look like January, Feb and March. April's confirmed your accounts, and now we can close and move into a new accounting window with a little bit more faith, okay? Well done, guys. Let's move on to May. Okay, when we come into May, I'm looking at a really interesting energy of people from the past. You're going back to your old stomping ground. You're going back to the old places you used to live. In my mind, I'm now getting Stormzy going back to the park where it all started, where he charted, right? So that's what I get in my head. If you get what I'm saying, you do. If you don't, you don't. Go and Google Stormzy. You'll learn. YouTube him. Go and hear his song about being in the park. That's what I'm getting in my head. It's going back to your old school, going back to your old stomping ground, going back to your old workplace, connecting with the older environment where you came from, just to touch roots. I know sometimes it's a little bit weird, but sometimes you need it. Like I saw a video of Justin Bieber going back to the bowling alley where he filmed Baby, which is one of his biggest songs, I believe. It was weird because it was a shut down, empty, derelict building, and he was just walking around in there singing, and it was a bit traumatic for me, to be honest. But it was significant, and I shouldn't be rude about people's unique healing journey, because it was blatantly a healing experience for him. Like he's trying to find himself. Here I go, analysing people again, profiling people. This is what I do. I'm the hermatologist. Love me or hate me. Still an obsession, right? Lady Sovereign, if you know, that is actually Mel C's little sister. How about that? How about we're just going back to old school music days? Lady Sovereign, Mel C's sister. I used to love Lady Sovereign. Go and Google Lady Sovereign, guys. I think she worked with Missy Elliott as well. That was Missy Elliott days. That is when I used to smoke Sovereign cigarettes all the time, and wear Sovereign rings all the time. I'm so hood. Oh my god, I'm so ghetto. I'm so black chav. It's unreal. All right, because black chavs are real, and we need to be represented correctly. And I was a top chaver with all of the Sovereign rings you could imagine on every single finger. And I love Lady Sovereign, and I smoke Sovereign cigarettes. This is about you and not me. So explain to me what you did in your past. I've just tripled back round to the Six of Cups and the Page of Cups in my own life. I've actually fell into your reading and the card and given you an example of memory lane. Give me a memory lane in the comments. There's something you need to go back to. Who were you in Missy Elliott days? Who were you in the noughties? Who were you in the 90s? Who were you in the 80s? It's important here. That's why my brain just spiraled back around, and suddenly I said Lady Sovereign, and I'm like, what? That's Mel C's sister. That's Spice Girls. Where were you when the Spice Girls were out and about and doing their thing? Like, there's something here. It's really weird, and it makes me want to laugh, and it makes me want to reminisce. So there's reminiscence of the past here, and there's you. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's about you choosing this new version of you and what's coming. What are the gorgeous memories you have from childhood? If you go into my description, go to my Spotify, I've got loads of music playlists. All the playlists are from like childhood favorites or like eras in my life where I really dove into that kind of music. So there's music of all kind. We got rock, we got R&B, we got God knows, like more commercial pop stuff, like, but every single one of those playlists are representative of an era of life for me, something I was going through at the time, a genre of music I needed to get me through something, or a vibe that I just chill with. So dive in, see what you find over there. But music is the key to the soul. I wanted to say window to the soul, then I realized that was the eyes, and that I was just making up phrases in the now moment with you guys, so bear with me as I think I am a poet full time. But it's just a really gorgeous energy of falling into this new world, but taking all these gorgeous memories and the harmonious feelings that resonate. With this element in May, the trine's coming out. Now, the trine is a triangle, and it talks about the different points of the triangle and how all those aspects come together to account for who you are. So that's gorgeous with the examples I've just given you, because I can't believe I just told you how much I love Lady Sovereign, and I'm embarrassed because I love Lady Sovereign. And I'm 37, but I used to love Lady Sovereign, and I love the fact that her sister was Mel C, who is Sporty Spice from Spice Girls. And now I'm talking to you like I'm that little girl again, outside school smoking cigarettes with all my Sovereign gold rings on. I used to love Sovereign rings and big fat door knocker earrings. I still love door knocker earrings now. I don't wear them anymore, but I used to. And I guess if I'm going I don't even own them. I'm forcing it. But it's weird. Why am I here? Why am I reminiscing? Why am I looking at my hands full of Sovereign rings? Loads of them. Different shapes. Like, do they even still sell Sovereign rings now? Do we still wear Sovereign rings? Those were the days. I want Sovereign rings back. I need Sovereign rings now. I used to have loads of Sovereign rings. Really cute ones. Oh, memory lane. Memory lane. We are in memory lane in May. And it is good for us because it is healing. And you do have another green card with the trine energy. So that's gorgeous. So memory lane is May. Enjoy it, embrace it, listen to music, go back to past times, old places, reminisce, fall into bliss, and let's move on to June. We arrive in June with a Sagittarius energy present, with the Ace of Cups, the Star card, and the Moon. Oh, I love when the Star and the Moon come out together. It talks to me about this gorgeous, what came out with that as well? The Ace of Cups. That's a gorgeous healing vibration. That's magic to me. The Star and the Moon, right? If the sun was here, it would be a trine. It would be a trinity. But the Star and the Moon is enough for me. It's magic. It's a magical window of time. It's June. With the Ace of Cups, it's emotional fulfillment. I feel like we're getting there, guys. Yeah, the year of satisfaction, I think we start to see and feel that in June. It's really nice. Sagittarius energy. So whatever's going on here, there could be a Sagittarius moon, a new moon, or a new moon or a full moon. Some kind of Sagittarius placement seems to be significant, or it could be a Sagittarius in your life, or you could be exuding the Sagittarius vibration, which to me is a really, really light, purposeful flame. You see, you've had that Page of Wands earlier in the months, and they were just kind of there. Now it's coming forward with a little, temperance energy. There's balance, there's harmony, there's healing, there's a light, effervescent, flowing, warm, succulent, sensual, gorgeous harmony. Harmonizing, is so important. It's like a chorus, a band, a group. Now I'm getting more Stormzy songs in my head. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. That's a Stormzy song. I love that song. That song got me through a lot of problems in life. I just played that on repeat to get me through my burdens, because heavy is the head that wears the crown. How crazy we spoke about Prince Harry and all of this, and now we're here with the crown song. Synchronicity is great. And it's the greatest quote I know, to be honest, because people don't realise how heavy it is to wear the crown. They don't get it. They don't understand. I want to be more like you, fam. That's the phrase I've heard many times in the hood. I'm trying to be like you, fam. You don't want to be like me, I promise. I promise you don't know me. You don't know what I go through. It may look good and glossy on the surface, but no, you don't want to be like me. But everyone don't see nothing but your shiny out exterior and go, I'm trying to be like you, fam. Yeah, I'm trying to be like you. And supposedly that's a compliment. It's not. It's insulting, because you should be trying to be like you. I like people who want to be like them. So you trying to be like you isn't really it for me. and you don't even know that that's a burden in itself, separate to the crown I'm already wearing. You know, it's hard. And there's healing coming through this awakening, through this consciousness, through these feelings, through these relationships with others, through all of the stuff you've done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm looking at about 7 to 9 projects that you are looking at in June, and you're deciding what you do or don't want to take on. So if you are in the public eye, right, and you are actually someone like Stormzy, then the truth of the matter is you get stuff on your desk all the time. You want to do this deal, you want to do this, brand deals, here you go, and you got to decide what you do or don't want to do. And imagine you've already done the McDonald's thing and got eaten out for that, chewed out for that fucking deal, and then you've got a lot of other stuff on the table. You've got your album to work on, you've got a lot of different stuff to do in your life, yeah? So you've got to decide. Same with Harry. Imagine all the stuff that Harry gets offered all the time. He's got to think about Meghan, he's got to think about the royal family who's disowned him now. Imagine that they pulled Harry's security and said, you're not a royal anymore because of what you've done, because you've disowned us and not kind of stayed with the throne. So now you don't get security, you don't get to use the luxuries. Imagine his own dad. His dad's the king, and his dad's just... Talk about abandonment issues. Talk about getting disowned publicly after your mum got murdered publicly. Brazy. Really fucking disgusting shit. And then he's got a black woman, and the family are going, oh God, Archie's too black for the monarchy. Goodness me, Meghan ain't nothing but trying to be like Diana. Meghan pays beautiful homage to Diana all the time. All the time. In everything she does. And I'm sure Harry approves, because if he didn't, she wouldn't do it. Do you get what I mean? It's crazy how much people think that they know what's best for Harry when Harry's married to her. So I would assume he knows his wife and sees her in the most vulnerable of ways, which we don't get to see, guys. Yet the press is piping up, going, Harry must be livid. I doubt it. I doubt it. Because that's his woman. And they have something that you don't know about. My God, the press make me nauseous. They're so stupid. And that's the thing here. You're really starting to wake up and go, right, what is a satisfaction to me? That's a mil. That's 4 mil. That's 2B. But I can only see positivity in this. That's free. Damn it, I'm going to have to do it because it's free. That's 400k. I mean, what are we going to do with that? But that's so rude. That's loads of money for somebody. That's a nest egg for many of us, okay? But do you get what I mean? Wherever you're at, there's this question around money and net worth and purpose and heart and meaning and oneness. 400k is a life-changing sum of money, okay? Let's not get that wrong. Sorry, I get my Akono brain on and I sit here looking at B and M and going, well, take that B and times it by that M and minimise that and take the positive energy from the X to the Y and times that by 4. And like, well, do you get what I mean? We don't need to go there, but that's what it feels like in the mind sometimes when you're trying to master your own magic and your own money, yeah? And make sure you're well off and stable and grounded for the future, because it is important. It really, really is important. So moving forward, we're looking at June as a really alchemical month where your manifestations can start coming to fruition, your satisfactions in, your contentments in, your fulfillments in, and the harder work of the months up until June have really started to pay off. Yeah, because we go through harder months so we can reward ourselves later on, and it looks like June's looking really rewarding. So let's move towards July. Wow, I love it. King of Cups, 8 of Wands, and the Moon. Whatever the full moon is in July, I would really worship that, pray during that window of time, do something spiritual if you're about that, because it's talking to me actually about the moon in June and the moon in July. Now we've got moon June, moon July, 2 separate cards, 2 separate decks. It's letting me know the new moon and the full moon in between that June and July window are really significant. That's a great window of time for you to manifest and have incredible success in your life. And this is gorgeous to me as well, yeah? Because we've got King of Cups twice. And earlier in May, when you were cleansing and getting rid of the final remnants of confusion, you had the Queen of Cups. Now you're showing up with King of Cups twice. It's saying you mastered this. You're mastering this. You really are now moving into contentment and satisfaction, because there's nothing worse than having money, having wealth, having abundance, but not wanting to share it. Yeah? After I came out of a lot of toxicity in my life, right? A great example for you guys. I moved into my new life, but I knew I couldn't open up and be the old version of me, and because I would let that toxicity back in. So all the amazing things I have in my life right now, I can't share it with anyone. And that hurts me deep down, because I manifested this life for me for such a long time, yeah? And the whole time I manifested this life, I was giving to everyone else at the same time. And that was taken from me. That was blocking my manifestations. I couldn't succeed because I was getting broken down by everybody else and their vibration, because they didn't value me, all my time, all my money, all my effort. I was stopping all my business stuff, all my production, all my life, all my purpose. The autonomous me really paused and stopped to help everyone else out. So now I'm back in the warehouse with that conveyor belt example I gave you earlier. And imagine every now and then in the Amazon warehouse, you just hit stop and pause and stop the whole conveyor belt. Or you don't, the vision in my head I'm getting is there's no collection tray at the end of the conveyor belt. So everything's just falling onto the floor. That's what it felt like. You're working in a cake factory and the cakes are running along a conveyor belt, and they get to the end and the person picks them up and puts them into a box, or they slide nicely into a box. Nope, someone's moved the whole box, the whole trolley at the end, and every cake is just splashing on the floor, splashing on the floor, splashing on the floor. But it's gone 20 minutes around the whole autonomous machine, and it's done the icing layer and the decoration layer. It's put fresh fruits on it, then it's garnished it. Special personalised message. It's come all the way around to the end and straight on the floor, straight on the floor, straight on the floor, straight on the floor. That's what's been happening in your life, because there's been no acceptance of fulfillment, honorary. You need to honor yourself, yeah? The honorary degree energy is very strong in this reading, but it's like honoring yourself. Like, you have to have that honor for you and your achievements. You can't let anyone else strip you of that, because the moment you let others strip you of it, the moment you stop and pause and the cakes start falling on the floor, yeah? At the pivotal point when I shift over to technology in my business, I had no one, and I was looking for solace, someone to hear me out and know what I was doing. And I went to someone who I thought was the most experienced that I would know. I went to the most experienced CEOs and people that I knew from different departments, just to let them know, I'm doing this in your sector, I'm doing this in your sector, I'm doing this in your sector. Aired me. Everyone aired me. And then some had the audacity to just knock me down and tell me, you ain't shit, that ain't gonna happen, you're making that up, that ain't really a real reality, that's impossible. If I was weak and fragile, and I was weak and fragile, but if I was really even more weak and fragile, I would have just stopped and quit. Luckily, I'm not a quitter and I don't give up, but that tore me down and broke me down. Some of the most important people I felt like were the most important people to receive me, refused to receive me, shat on my ideas. I still had to find my way here without them. It's not easy. Yeah, but it's got to be done. And I think that's kind of where you're at. You're accepting that it's you that's going to get you here. It's you that's going to keep you going. It's you that's going to keep you happy. It's you that's going to keep you fed. It's you that's going to keep you positive. And if there's anyone else that's going to block that for you, they've got to go. You don't need that low vibration, and you don't need to be controlled and restrained. Now I sit in my house with all my gorgeous stuff, and I just have to appreciate it and go, well, damn, isn't it a shame that I can't have all these people in here or all these people around me basking in this good quality life? Because with them, I couldn't have had this good quality life. That's the saddest truth. With you, this wasn't possible to achieve. And God makes it abundantly clear that if I want to lose everything I've gained, go on, let them back in. See what happens. And actually, I only learned that through experience, because there was multiple times I let people back in after the betrayal, after the lies, after they destroyed my mental health, after they gaslit me, after they tried to steal from me, or outrightly stole from me time and time again, teething my IP, intellectual property, biting all my shit, denouncing me I don't believe in what you're doing. That makes no sense. But a week later, I'm going to do that exact same thing that you done in my own network. What? But you told me that doesn't make sense and that doesn't work. But now you're doing it. And you've named it something different. And you've wrapped it in gold. But it's still mine, you fucking tosser. Yeah? Protect your energy. Protect yourself. You've been through hell. Yeah? That's why you're so sensitive and emotional. And if you cry a lot, innit? That's how it works sometimes. People need to cry. I do have content out called Dear Crybaby. It's about time we cried with pride. You're allowed to cry. Do you know how many people judge me all the time for crying? Made fun of me all the time for crying? I'm crying for a reason. I've been crying for a reason. Now I've gone to therapy and I've dealt with my deep inner wounds. I don't cry like that anymore. And actually the reason I was crying, if you really want to know, is because I was abused. And I was silenced and I wasn't allowed to speak about the abuse. So every time I was sensitive, I was just crying my eyes out because I had trapped abuse stories inside of me that I didn't get to share. But now I'm sharing it. So I'm better. So keep talking and keep mocking my cries because I'll out you and you're abusing blood clot ways. Yeah? We have to free ourselves, guys. We have no choice. Let's move on to August. We arrive with an Aries energy followed by a King of Wands. So that gives me strong Aries presence in your reading. You could outrightly be dealing with an Aries. You could be outrightly be dealing with somebody who is independent. Oh, it's fascinating because it looks like this person's fiery like an Aries, either way if they're not. It looks like there's a business opportunity on the table for you, separate to the ones that you've been thinking about in June and July, because this one is something you really want to think about, and it looks like a new passionate beginning. It looks like it's business related, like a nice deal, but it looks like it's purposeful and passionate. It looks more long term, and it looks like something that you wouldn't outrightly normally do. It looks like you're taking a seat on a board, becoming a chair, becoming a CEO, franchising. It looks cool. It looks really, really cool. It looks new and fun and refreshing. Well done. Well done. Because what this says to me more than anything else is that opportunities are opening up for you now that you've thawed out and cleared away this heavier energy. We're talking about January, February, March, April and May being a real thawing out of trauma, triggers, old energy, your confusion about you, your identity, your wealth, your branding, your niche, your long-term derivatives and direction. But then we come into June with some real harsh awakenings of the self going, right, no, I want to get involved in this, I want to get involved in this, I want to put this much money into this, I want to take this much money out, invest it here. Like there's strong awareness of money, love, heart and purpose. Like I spoke about that 400k and why that's important. I spoke about the 4k, the 10k, the $100, £100, the billion, the 2 billion, the 1 million, that like there's a breakdown of what is and isn't valuable. And when I say 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, and 4 billion, in my head, I'm just getting emotions, heart, will. Like, so it gives me a little bit of goodwill, but more than that, it gives me some energies are worth 1 mil. That's a 1 mil vibration. That's a 20 billion vibration. And we're saying that to say that's just energy. That's a little bit of that's corporation, but I don't want to go too corporation heavy because the cups are out everywhere. And that's it. The King of Wands is specifically here in August. It's the passion of it. That's worth millions to me passionately, because you can't put a price on passion. You can't put a price on purpose. You can't put a price on destiny. So the satisfaction of your life is starting to flow in line with your passion and purpose. That's how you really get rich. That's how you make it and you be successful. Yes, everyone's chasing that money and the materialism, and Elon Musk may tell you a very different story and he would be more valid than me, but my opinion, and I will stand on it till the day I die, is life works when you are in flow state. Avatar, the last airbender matters. Fire, water, air and earth are incredibly important. Yin and yang matters here, guys, and it's about the solidification of the fluidity. You be fluid for a while and you let yourself travel with the King of Cups. You go into water element, you master the water element, then you move into the fire element, yin and yang, and then you solidify truth from that. Pull out the trine vibration. That's that triangle energy. Un, dos, tres. That's 3 points on the triangle that account for something, that are major aspects of your life that can become one and be harmonized now, that allow you to move into avatar state. It looks like there is something you're investing in. It could be a person, but it more than anything else is definitely unlocking the truest version of you, your happy place, your passion. You're gonna have to choose this, Aries, and with an Aries fiery passion, you're going to have to dive into this because this is what you want. And diving into it means sitting on the throne and owning this reality, this life, this version of you. Yeah, because you're independent and you're purposeful and you're content, and you're just proving in August that you are satisfied with you and your life, and decision making is so much easier when you're satisfied with you. Wow. Let's move on to September. So once we get to September, it looks very interesting because the Pisces energy is out with the Ace of Swords. The Devil's coming out with the Ace of Cups. It's showing me that there is a lot that is being revealed, a lot of truths. A lot of demons are coming out. Okay. I want to say crypto. I want to say meme coins. Oh. Oh dear. I want to say that there seems to be a sudden shocking truth that is emotionally healing, but it reveals a lot of toxicity in the network. Yeah, not in your net worth, but I do want to talk about other people's network, other people's net worth. There could be a lot of people that you know into cryptocurrency. There could be a lot of crypto that you have. There's a lot of cryptocurrency talk coming out in September, and it's looking, there's a lot of players in the field. Whatever you've done, oh God, life's so fucking hard sometimes, man. Whatever you've done, yeah, this is what I keep seeing in all the readings that I've been doing. It's fascinating. It's hard to be a shaman sometimes and clairvoyant, to know the ways of the world and that ebb and flow. I just spoke about fluidity and avatar state. Obviously, what happens when you're in avatar state? The Fire Lord knows. The fire element, yeah, what they call the fire team, the fire crew, the fire pricks. They know, yeah? That's what I'm saying here. The fire tribe. The fire tribe know that Ang is activated and they are hunting him down. That's the truth. It's a situation of, there could be a Pisces in your life that you need to get rid of. A Pisces that approaches you with a business deal about cryptocurrency or money or assets. There's a lot of people thirsty for you at this time. They're offering you money, they're offering you deals, they're offering you branding, they're talking big bucks, but it's a whole load of bollocks. They're talking big bollocks, acting like they're talking big bucks. They're not. Stay away from most of these people. It's 1, 2, 3, sleazy, 6, 7, 8. There's loads of them. Firstly, there's 1, then there's 2, then there's 3, then there's 4. So for me, it gives me crypto, but then it gives me scams. It gives me rug pullers. So it gives me, there's one crypto coin, rug pull. Oh my God, another crypto, rug pull, rug pull, rug pull. Someone's rug pulling up the fucking place. Not only that, it's giving me like scams, like someone's setting up a scam here, someone's setting up a scam here. It's not you or it's not them, but there's just be aware in September as you evolve, people it's like You're more and more famous, you're more and more recognized. Now you've got 20 odd catfish accounts and everyone's claiming to be you. There's 100 different catfish accounts for your new clothing brand, for your new business. Everyone is catfishing, everyone is scamming, stealing. There's all these fake numbers for your business address. There's all these fake accounts of you and people pretending they're you online with phone numbers to match and different deals. And you see how Mr. Beast, yeah, he has all of these, or he went for a phase on YouTube, I don't know how they approve it, where it's a YouTube advertisement and it's, oh my god, go over here to enter the Beast games for free and you get all of this. Mr. Beast is giving away 10 million to his favourite subscribers, like or comment. Like, there was Mr. Beast scams all over YouTube for weeks. And I was like, my god, is no one doing anything about this? And it was so well designed, one of them. I said, oh my gosh. I clicked on it and I was like, what the hell? And then I saw it was a scam and I was like, no, this is close, because even I clicked to just inspect a little bit more. I was like, what? Mr. Beast is doing what? He's giving away how much? All you have to do is what? No way. And then I looked at it and I realised it was a fake setup, but it was way too programmed on the algorithm with everything else. And I think one of them was an advertisement. Some of them were actually paid ads. And some of them went to proper full-on websites with all the same branding and logo. So imagine you're going to websites with numbers, with logos, proper setup, scamming shit. So we're looking at, you need to be on your anti-fraud shit, September. That's the truth. Anti-money laundering. Know your customer. Checking all the legal around crypto and assets. If you're moving into trading, if you're moving into crypto promotions, if you're moving into futures, if you're leveling up financially, I need you to be beyond tight in September, because the devil's out and the ace of swords is out and the ace of cups is out. If you've been scammed, return. We're going to catch the cunts, I was going to say. Sorry guys, I'm so common as muck and rude sometimes, but it just slid out. I'll try and be nicer. But the truth of the matter is, if anyone has fucking done you over and done you dirty, we're catching the cunts in September, okay? Sorry guys, once I start me off, there's no going back. I'm a disgrace. I'm a shaman with no behaviour. I'm so sorry. But that's the truth. And otherwise, just be really, really vigilant. Okay, make sure you're keeping your eyes peeled. Do not fall for it, okay? There's scammers out there all of September coming for you if they can get away with it, okay? Let's move into October. Okay, October energy is giving interesting, because we're showing up with an Aries moon. So it's connecting me back to your August energy, and it's letting me know that independent energy where you are really choosing to do that thing that you really, really love and care about. It is bringing up some unresolved issues from the past, okay? So you could have sparked a new passion in August with this new thing that you chose to do, right? But September, you went through a lot of sneaky, underhanded things. So you've been taken off your path a little bit. Little Red Riding Hood story here. You was going to Grandma's house. In August, you was going to Grandma's house, right, with your basket and your sweet treats for Grandma. But the wolf came. And then the wolf ate Grandma. And then they had to cut Grandma open and you had to be saved by the axe man. You got through that. But now you got to remember that you still didn't get that lovely quality time with Grandma, you know? So where are your loved ones? Who do you love and care about? Who haven't you spent time with? Family, friends, business associates, different companies, different brands that you own. Some people own companies, have brands and stuff, and they put their name on it, but they never show up. They're never even there or present in the business. Sometimes your business doesn't succeed because you're not there, and you're not showing up, and you're not motivating your team or your staff. I'm going to give you a rude example because I don't know Khloe Kardashian like this, but I get this in my head all the time when it comes to Khloe, because I've always loved the Kardashians since I was a little girl in the 80s, in the noughties, loving Paris Hilton, saying, that's hard, it's hard, it's hard. I love Paris Hilton so much, right? Because I'm one of those girls that love the Playboy Mansion and Kendra Wilkinson and Hugh Hefner and Paris Hilton and my Motorola flip phone. That's hard. So with that in mind, when I think about Khloe Kardashian, I think about her businesses and her brands, and I feel like people are really, really successful when there's passion and purpose behind what they do. You saw Kylie Jenner's brand, and you saw how much passion and purpose and how much she loved what she did. That was the energy that you exuded in August with whatever you were doing. Kylie blew up, became the youngest billionaire, really, really famous, the richest in the Kardashian empire because of her lip kits, because she genuinely had a thing for fuller, fatter lips and doing her lips that way. And she was trending and it was up and everyone loved it and she was out there doing that, right? With Chloe and Good American, it just fell short, and it's fallen short for me because she hasn't done it from a true place of love and passion. It's lacking passion. Businesses that lack passion just plateau in the field. And it's no offense to Chloe, I love her to pieces, but a lot of what she does is she plateaus. Is she a Scorpio? Because this reading would definitely give Khloe Kardashian vibration, because it's a situation of plateauing for a really long time, even though you're well off and abundant. And you got to find your niche, you got to find your brand, and that's when you have a manager or a business manager who is managing other people who are worth more than you on the books, and you get left to the side and you get thrown the second-hand deals and offers that are not really for you anyway. Do you want to do this, Chloe? Do you want to do that, Chloe? Chloe, do some jeans. Chloe, do this. Chloe, do that. But Kim Kardashian's getting the big box, the real deals. Kendall's getting the real supermodel deals. Do you get what I mean? Everyone finds their own niche and their own purpose and their own identity, but some people get lost. And some people have harder lives. Chloe's an earth angel. She had a harder life. She was with Lamar Odom. That was really, really fucked up. I can't believe I'm just in here digging into lives. We just dug into Harry. We just dug into Stormzy. Now we're digging out Chloe. Love all these people as well. But I'm a hermetologist and I am a quantum psychologist, which I just made up just now for you guys. So, because I would never really call myself that, because that's not really a thing. And either way, quantum psychology is what I will say. We dive into sociology, the mind, human existence, evolution. We're talking about the evolution of Khloe Kardashian within the remit of the Kardashian brand and the Kardashian and Jenner brand and what that looks like. Talking about Harry evolving in his network with his family and what it means to be next to the throne versus not being next to the throne, and having your mum die in the public arena like that. Whether it was an accident or a actual murder, we can all debate. Do you get what I mean? Along with Stormzy trying to find himself out of the fucking hood and rapping in the park to being a big boy millionaire, yet still getting dragged down for standing in his truth as a big 6 foot something black man who hasn't had it easy because racism is real, you know? So we talk about these issues and we talk about that in relation to you. How do you find your happiness within that? We've spoken about Harry and Meghan trying to find their happiness. We spoke about Stormzy finding his way out of the dark. We spoke about Chloe hopefully fixing that Good American brand, because I can't stand it. That's the truth. There we go. The real me comes out eventually in these conversations. It's just not cutting the mustard. Come on, look. It really annoys me when people are really well off and have loads of money and just don't seem to get it. Come on. Where is the branding? Where is the evolution of the brand? We've already got Tommy Hilfiger. We've already got American Eagle. We've already got stuff so close to the line, and people are selling brand, niche, image. You need to pull up and really sell, but you can't do that, can you? Until you are there in the heart, until it's passion for you. And that's what you've been going through, Scorpio. Is Khloe Kardashian a Scorpio? Because it gives me that energy more than anything else now. And it's months of trying to heal and come through all of this stuff to come out of the other end. And once again, absolute love and respect for Khloe Kardashian, because she went through some real trauma with Lamar, and that just ruined. Earth angels really get battered, and that's what she did. She got battered by Lamar and all of that in the press. Then she dated French, who was just thirsty as fuck. And then she got with Tristan, who was just out here cheating on everyone. And she's still got Tristan in her life. So as long as she's got Tristan in her life, she's never going to be free. And she's never going to break the curse. I'm so sorry, but it's true. I can't deny what I know and see. That he is... When someone does you wrong and they're a bad omen in your reality, you got to let them go. And now I'm bitching. I'm just going to say this, guys. Hit like if you resonate and you're happy for me to share. Otherwise, move on to the next Zodiac. But the truth of the matter is... God tests you time and time again. And what he did in the situation with Chloe is Tristan's family died and passed away. And now it's kind of like Chloe's being forced again to be a provider for him. He's cheated on you how many times? He's got how many kids? Around the same age as your child? He's not a good person. He doesn't love you that way. He needs you and your money. How many people do you actually support with the money that you make? And you don't really make that much money realistically when you really break it down in relation to what everyone else is doing. There's the brand you just support through the fact that you've got these kind of deals. Like she's so amazing and such a good-hearted person and such a loving character. There's so much more she should be doing in her life and so much more she has to give to this planet, and such a wholesome, healing, amazing woman. But to see someone in her energy like Tristan who limits her growth, his mum died and he became the sole carer of his little brother who's got severe disability. Chloe looks after that child. Chloe looks after Rob's kids. Chloe just becomes the servant to everyone else, man. It's just so fucked. It's the Cinderella story that is just the most horrendous story of all time. I know it personally. Do you get what I mean? I resonate with Chloe so much because I see so much of myself in Chloe, even though she's older than me, I think. I don't know. But I'm an empath. I'm just sensitive. When you see another earth angel down and out and wounded, it makes you sad, you know? And Chloe's story makes me sad because she deserves to be in a happy, healthy relationship with the husband or wife of her dreams, doing what she does, you know? Having thriving companies. And she's in the shadow of Kim Kardashian. And she's trapped with Tristan. And yeah, it's just a shit scenario, and it's not my business. I'm sure she's happy living her life, and she's a million times richer than me, and she looks fantastic nowadays. So I guess that's enough, right? I'm gonna mind my business now, and we're gonna move on to November. Coming into November, we've got the 6th house, service and health, with the Page of Swords, the Empress, and the 7 of Cups. Wow. 7 of Cups, interesting energy, because I said, hold on, what's this really saying? And it's going, there's a lot of amazing new things on the way, and you are cutting through them. It's once again these deals, these offerings, these opportunities, really, really taking the bull by the horns and creating magical things to really, really happen. We're going to keep using the Khloe Kardashian example because we're already here, okay? And what's beautiful about it is, in my opinion, if Khloe Kardashian pulled away from her mum and Kim and Tristan and just went by herself, meditated, went to some kind of retreat, or got around people that was just different in mind frame, sat with her, really internalized her shit, made her see who she was and what she wanted in her life, she could turn everything around and be way more wealthier, way more abundant. And that's internally first. She would be richer than Kim. She would be richer than Kylie. She would be the richest in the family. And her family would flourish and soar incredibly well. But until she goes on that own personal private journey, she will never discover that side of her that's meant to be unlocked. It's just like Kourtney Kardashian. Do you see? I love Kourtney Kardashian. You see how she broke the mold, and she's the oldest sister as well. This is how lineage works. This is one of my masteries, so let me flourish as I tell you how shit works in life. This is how ancestry works. Kourtney is the oldest sister. She watched the lineage and everything that was going on. She had the toxic relationship with Scott. They're both in the press, high-profile relationships. But at the end of the day, Kourtney knew she wasn't happy. Kourtney was the first one to speak up about her mum being toxic, about Bruce and Chris being toxic and her being unhappy. She went into therapy for years. She refused to do the show at times. She pulled away. Everyone else stayed affiliated and completely groomed in to the Kardashian-Jenner brand and going in line with what the public need and what the family need to make money. Kourtney said no. I want a better life. I don't like it. I'm not seeing it. And everyone was hating on her. She was getting bitched at, bullied, getting into fights with Kim, real anger, real stress. But she said no because her therapist was guiding her time and time again. No, you're not feeling okay. This isn't healthy for you. Kourtney went on a deep spiritual journey. For years and years and years. She was me watching the Kardashians at the time, that really guided me on my spiritual journey. Because I was like, wow, how powerful is that? She's really fighting against the regime. Kourtney fought against the whole regime. And Kris Jenner's always crying like, oh, you're letting the family down. You're acting like I'm a bad mother. But she's saying you are. She feels that you are, Kris. And it's okay, Kris. You're amazing. I love Kris Jenner. She's a sensational momager. But Kourtney has every right to stand on her laurels and live her own life. And Kim is hating heavy on Courtney all the time, and she's going, you don't have a real job, you're not doing anything real, you're not making any real money, what do you even do, you haven't got a brand, you're living off us. Like, everyone's got their money sorted, so they're all at a stable level in life, but Kim's just hating on Courtney because she doesn't want to be in the public arena, and she's not hungry and thirsty for fame like Kim is. But Courtney's standing on her laurels going, no. Or standing on her, I don't know if that's the right word. Laurels is not the right word, is it? But standing on her guns going, no, I want love. Everyone's telling her to get back with Scott. Just go back to your old life. Just get back with Scott. Scott's a mess. No. And she stayed true through trial and tribulation. Stayed with a family. Still had to see these family that were so opposing everything she wanted in life. And look at her now. Look at Courtney now. Travis Barker, whole new family, whole separate life, healthy boundaries, loved up with her own new son as well, on top of the family that she has, and she's happy. She doesn't really need to film the show if she doesn't want to. She set healthy boundaries, and it took her years. Years. Imagine your ex is always around. Everyone's saying, just get back with your ex. Your ex, like the chaos of it. So she can't tell the truth about her mum because it looks bad on camera to tell the truth about Chris. But we can all see who Chris is. We've all watched the show. We've all seen the rise of the Kardashians. No offence, Chris. You're amazing. I'll watch a masterclass. You're an absolute queen. But come on. No one's perfect. She's allowed to speak about childhood trauma. And it wasn't easy. She's a testament to breaking ancestral curses. She's gone and got the life that she wanted. And she was alone for ages. Where she could have just got back with Scott and just played along and done all these stupid deals that she didn't want to do. She didn't want to be in the public eye. She didn't want to do these stupid deals. And that is it for you guys. You guys are breaking through any service, any money, any assets, any health and wholeness impacted by you not being able to really be you. You're cutting it out. Because there's a lot of things you do want to do and a lot of things you don't want to do. And it's about balancing out that yin and yang, that avatar state. How will you ever defeat the fire lord without mastering all elements? Yeah, you need to go to the water tribe. Then you need to go to the earth tribe. Then you need to go to the air tribe. Find all your fucking tribes, load up on your source code and the right vibration, and then get into avatar state so you can master your destiny. This is in line with the Tabula Rasa energy we spoke about, the blank slate, the new beginning. Yeah? Let's dive into December and close this out. As we arrive in December, Cancer energy's out, 8 of Cups, 3 of Cups, the Hermit. Giving me 11 energy with all these cups, okay? I want to say the 3rd of November may have been a significant date for you. From the 3rd of November to the 3rd of December is what's kind of showing up to me as well. And it's talking about 8 days before Christmas as well. I don't know why, but I'm just seeing 8 days before Christmas. And the 3rd of December, 3rd of November. And it's talking about really going within. You may want to go away for a retreat, a silent retreat. You may want to travel. You may want to do something different. It talks about kind of going within, hermit mode. If you're working all throughout the year and you're busy and you've been doing all this really busy stuff that like we've seen, you might want to turn down, shut down, close off and just go within. Go full hermit. You might want a hermit holiday. I'm getting bush, cave, beach. Get a beachfront property, or you may have a beachfront property and you're just going to have Christmas quietly by yourself on the beach. I potentially get as well. Looks nice. I see someone having a beachfront villa or property and just walking along the beach by yourself in like the late evening and no one else is out there and it's just beautiful and the water's just kind of waving in and out and you're just peacefully walking along the beach. You could have a pet as well that you take with you, very unconventional animal out there with you, they're just kind of chilling with you in your pocket or on your arm or somewhere weird, but potentially on your shoulder, yeah, in your hand. Really, I can't quite work out what creature it is. It's different. Some kind of animal with you. or something magical that you're taking with you as you walk along the beach. But it looks like a nice window of time to just go out and go for a nice stroll, have a silent retreat, have quiet time, turn off. It looks like no social media, no phones. You could just be around 3 other people, really immediate, close, loving people that you care about. Christmas with the ones that you really, really do love, or whoever's made it into your home, your new half and home. Yeah, really loving vibration. It actually could just be you and 2 others. Yeah, I see 3 overall, but it's like there's gratitude and there's thanks, and it's a bit harsh because actually you could be spending the 8 days before Christmas quickly seeing everybody else. So you could be traveling or flying around to check in with everyone before Christmas, dropping off gifts and presents, because you're not going to be there. You're not going to be around everyone. The full family shindig that normally happens, you won't be there for it. And someone could be emotional about that. There could be a Cancer sign that does cry or moan, if that's mum or sister, someone who's really upset that you're not going to be with them for Christmas. That could be your lover or your partner even, yeah? If you're not going to be there, but you're just going to be with your best friend and a colleague, or your mum and your sister, just you and 2 other people for Christmas, not a big deal. You're going to keep it really small, and you're going to have a nice window of time just to walk along the beach. Yeah, in my head I get Pamela Anderson, really weirdly. I feel like Pamela Anderson, does she have a beachfront property, or I have a vision of like one of the shows I've watched with her, and it's like a documentary in her older days, and I feel like she lived somewhere beachfront wise. I'm not talking Baywatch. I'm talking her older, just walking along the beach, and it's like a beachfront property, and it's just really chill. And I think she said she just likes to take long walks along the beach. I just keep getting long walks across the beach, just really private and alone, and really chill and really hermit energy. The hermit is just walking along the beach happily, and he's got his nearest and dearest with him. Yeah, or her. Your nearest and dearest are with you, and it's beautiful, loving, amazing, and it's what you need to close out the year, okay? So I hope that finds you well. The overall year for Scorpio is a real roller coaster of yin and yang, inner healing, and the outward expression of that. It's about doing the inner work and letting the inner work guide your outer reality. Yeah, beautiful life to lead. It's self-mastery at its finest, because it shows that life isn't one way and it's not always perfect and fantastic. It shows that whether you are really rich or poor, there are battles of what wealth and abundance really is and what it feels like. And there's a real awakening and awareness of how the inner you must nourish the outer you, or you'll fail time and time again. And it's a real awareness that the inner you isn't an overnight success. You can't fix the inner you in a second. And I will apologize for my intensive energy in January, February and March, because I do feel like I was like, come on, show me you're healing. But healing's a journey, and that's kind of my personality and my style. Come on, kick off, keep going, what you doing, push, come on. But it had to be slow and steady, and you just had to work through it, and you really are breaking limitations and old mind frames that have kept you stuck and ungrounded. And what happens, and what has happened, is you've managed to find fulfillment in nothingness, and that's where fulfillment belongs, in the empty nothingness of reality. I love it to pieces. I love what it means to be happy with self, because that is the cure. I've been saying over the last few months that no matter what I get in my life now, no matter what comes to me, no matter husband, kids, wife, marriage, millions, billions, trillions, what I have in the now moment is it. And this is what God keeps telling me. This is why we've done this for you. This is what we needed you to hear. This is what we needed you to learn most of all, hermatologists, is your mind frame, your mental health, your well-being, the composition of your thinking, your inherited ways of being and existing, the lows you have, the highs you have, the back and forth thoughts and feelings that you have, the way you speak to yourself, all the qualities and assets that make you you today will make you you tomorrow. Yeah? So you have to understand, what are you exuding and giving off today? Because that's the inherent you. So when people think, I'm just going to be so happy in the future when I'm a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire. No, you're not. You're going to be just as happy as you are now. If you don't do anything about it, if you don't change your way of being, if you don't do the work, and even when you do the work, you got to understand that sometimes things are so ingrained, they're not going to change. If you experience suicidal ideations, if you experience depression, that doesn't just disappear. Adele, big boy celebrity, big girl celebrity, should I say, but looks fantastic, gorgeous, settled down, new relationship, after divorce, well off financially, doesn't even have to really work or do shows or put out albums, but still does for the love of it whenever she's in the mood for it. She still suffers with seasonal depression. Seasons really hit her well. She still struggles. I mean, she's quite isolated in hermit energy, because when you're in the public eye, you can't really do too much sometimes. So I get that. But it's about understanding parts of you that are not going to change. And owning that. I'm loud and I swear and I'm spicy and I say all this stuff that I should probably not say. But I do, because that's who I am, really. And the more I try and suppress that, the more I fuck myself over, because why am I trying to be someone else? Yes, I need to be respectful and not be rude and watch how I speak in different environments, but I still can be me, right? And that's the same for you. You gotta be you. Because it's the lack of being you that really brings that lack up in your life and makes you feel unsatisfied. It's the years that I was doing namaste, come in. And in order for me to balance out that energy, and I work with kids, I use this example all the time. Me being light source, and when you're a light source, I was a nursery nurse for years, worked with kids for years. Good morning, come in, mum and dad, yes. Come on kids, it's carpet time, let's sing, woo! Really bubbly. So when Friday hit, I'm on the piss. Get me a drink. Now, let's go to the pub. Let's turn out. Let's go to a rave. Let's go to a festival. Give me a spliff. I'm stressed. I need to unwind. I've been so fucking positive for 5 days of the week. I need to get wasted because I need my polarizing energy to come in. My yin and yang is off because I've been in yang for too long. I need my yin. Bring the yin. Yeah? Same when I started to do tarot. I left the kids behind too much. I can't stand all these kids because I have to be nice and not swear all the time. And I just want to be a little bit wild and crazy. I'm sick of being perfect. But then I moved over to tarot. Clairvoyant, medium. You started using my gifts full time. And now I have to be like, okay, everybody hit the Tibetan bowl. Namaste. Okay. Now the tarot cards. No. Your life's fucked because the devil's out. So that's just your life's fucked. Do you get what I mean? Like, there's a part of me that's so inappropriate, guys. I know, but do you get the example? That's what comes up inside of me personally. If I don't get to transmute, if I have to be namaste. And I started not smoking. When I started I started to be vegan. I started to do all my namaste, mindfulness, tarot, love and light sessions. And then as I went down that route, because I'm trying to be this idea of what it means to be spiritual and be right, be the stereotype, yeah? Well, I need a fag. I need cigarettes. And I've been smoking since I was like 11 years old because we're British and that's what we do here. I need a fag and I need a glass of wine. And I don't want to tell anyone I'm smoking because I'm meant to be a healthy vegan now. And then veganism went out the window actually only a month in because I started to get really, really sick and my body was like dying. I was withering like, oh my God. No, I needed eggs and chicken. Then I became pescatarian. I mean, do you get it? This story is to let you know there's a journey here. You got to go on the journey. You got to find yourself. And look at me now. Look at me with my yin and yang alien symbolism. Don't even drink or smoke anymore. Which I miss deeply. I'm not an alcoholic or a druggie, but every now and then I'm like, should I get turned? And I'm like, I don't need to. I'm turned off lights. But this is a conversation for you to have with yourself, because I've gone on a tangent. But I felt like that was a great way to just sum up what on earth was going on with you guys. It's understanding that you can't go left or right. You have to find middle ground. And that looks different for all of us. And that is not a normal thing. Everyone goes far left, far right, and somewhere in between. But finding the center point of the Fibonacci and grounding your own reality is a rare asset. So be the rare asset in the room, okay? Love and light, Scorpio. Check out the description for more. Check out the latest videos dropping. There is stuff going on all around. And Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!